There are other ideas too that I've been just kind of loosely channeling into. Like I really wanted to kind of, pick up on different like star families. There was an idea a while ago. Let me write this down in my notes. I'm just gonna write down. So there are new star families that were approaching the field. So this is probably, man, we channeled this like, I don't know, a month or two ago. Yeah, new star families, new star lineages that aren't the typical ones that we normally work with, because we normally work with like Arcturian, Lyran, Pleiades, Sirian frequencies. Who else? What are all the other star families? Orion, somewhat, not as much. Andromedan. The normal, like, galactic families that kind of come up from time to time. And then a few months ago, essentially, we had channeled, and this was probably even before, sorry, my chair's squeaking. This is even before 3i Atlas was even like a thing. We had channeled that there was some other star family stuff being forward, and it wasn't easy to channel, at least for me personally. They were kind of on the edge of the field. They were like approaching the field in a way, and it was like it wasn't super easy. And we had basically channeled that they were coming forward to assist humanity, assist us with what was coming. And at that time, we didn't know that 3i Atlas was like even a thing. We had channeled this a couple months ago. It's probably more than a couple months ago now, but we'll just call it 2 months ago for whatever reason. So, and then what they had brought forward was that if you, in order to allow more of the collective to connect to them, they basically had brought forward that you can use whichever council or whichever galactic families that you are attuned to, that you are calibrated to, you can basically use them to connect to these new ones as kind of like a frequency bridge in a way. So if you're not able to basically directly channel them, or like you're having a hard time, you can use your galactic family to connect.
I tend to have lately a hard time with names. I think it's very like intentional, because I can get distracted.
Yeah, names in what way though? What do you mean? Or can
like,
you elaborate?
Yeah, so as you were listing like the different star families you usually work with, as you say them, I feel something. So frequency, I'm not sure exactly what word to put on it, but like I feel something that's like, okay, I know what you're talking about, but like I remember the feeling of that one.
Where do you feel it?
Depends on which one.
Oh, okay. Is it in the body, or is it somewhere else?
Yes, or around like my space. So it could be like in the physical body, right around the physical body. Sometimes but there's usually a physical sensation. You're welcome, sweetheart.
Associated with the frequency of the different star families or councils.
Right. And so there's a lot that I used to get kind of stressed about it when people start using like names of them. But that part of my brain just doesn't seem to function the same way it used to. So I'm like, maybe it's getting upgraded, but every now and then I just get the message that like, don't get hung up on the words. Like the words will come basically when I'm ready for them. But I think I map things like, I don't know, I would imagine as a blind person does.
Okay. How does a blind person map things, just for my information?
Well, it's like, so you're sitting in a room and like you can feel the space of the room. Like different rooms will feel different. They're big, they're cold, there's a draft, there's no movement. But usually I feel the space that I'm quote unquote in. And then there's sources of light. I feel or see sources of light. So if it's an actual memory, like I'll kind of like with my eyes shut, like I'll see where the shape of the light source. So a window, an open door, or a being of light. So yeah, I'm still figuring out. I'm still like learning how I learn. You know, it used to trigger panic attacks and flashbacks so intensely. It's like okay, so I kind of put all that on pause, did a whole lot of therapy, and worked through so that I could experience these sensations that didn't automatically take me back to something that shut me down or was scary or that took a long time to get here. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff attached to words in my head that like I know is bunk. So like when I get it all has a very similar vibe to it. So a lot of times like when we're talking and a word comes up that triggers something, something my dad said once, something, something I was scared of once, that time that, we did the turn the lights off and said the Bloody Mary in front of the mirror, like whatever. All these little random things. It's like if that stuff starts getting loud, I just turn down like all words. And so I kind of go into feeling my way in the dark, but you can still there's still awareness of things when you're in the dark. I don't like to sleep in the dark because I see too much. In the low light, I see a lot. But also sign language. My head, I switched to sign language inside, which is part of the reason
Are you deeply connected to sign language?
I studied in school, in college for a while, but I remember the first time I started learning it, it was like, God, I felt like something inside me just unlocked. It's like the way that words have a feel, or topics have a feel. Like the signs embodied that to me. And it was just it felt like such a more honest way to communicate, where I feel like English has to go through, or spoken has to go through all these extra things. And when I'm kind of far out, even if I'm grounded, like that part of my brain just kind of like, I don't know, takes a vacation. And I think in sign, and I call them light shows. And yeah, close my eyes a lot. So sometimes that part of my brain kind of feels on, and I like to share, and other times it's like, are words going to come out if I open my mouth? And generally, when they need to, they do.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Somebody said to me recently about we were chatting, and essentially like certain words that were coming out were like triggering, or they just felt not as aligned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was hindering the interpersonal communication, and basically what she had shared and what worked for me was like, hey, let's harmonize like the words basically, and that really helped me in a way, because it's like, okay, maybe I'm not choosing the most aligned words to say, or maybe they're not coming out in the most aligned way, and maybe certain words and or frequencies can be triggering for different reasons in the mental, emotional, and physical body. So when she said like, hey, let's choose to harmonize the words, that basically is like a permission slip for me to say, oh, okay, let me not take this personal, let me not take this word choice because it basically derails the frequency of where we're trying to get to, right? If we're getting
Yes.
triggered by words, or something's coming up in the body because it's an association,
Yeah.
that's made based on the type of communication that's happening in that moment. And it doesn't necessarily need to be words. It can happen through touch. I've watched people get triggered with touch. I've watched them, get triggered in the human psychologically, like where it's very interesting, the things that,
The way we store memories is so fascinating.
yeah,
But it's like anything could. Sometimes I don't like the word trigger because of but I know what it means, what it points to, but I feel like they need to make a better word that also includes like it's just touching on a point. It's pointing to something new. Like whether it's experience or whatever. Like to me, sometimes I think of them as like little pins, like that you can drop on your map on a device. So it's like something will trigger something and I'll kind of pin it because I want to stay present in the conversation that I'm having. But I recognize like, oh, that reminded me of whatever, something. It's not whatever, but it's not right now. But sometimes they are now. They jump into the now. And I just have to trust when those come up that's not just about me or for me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's why I really like, once my light language got activated, we have all types of other ways to communicate one another, whether it's like light language, telepathy has come online fairly recently for a lot of people in the community. There's like heart coherence, so we can talk with our hearts basically as well. So you can be having two or three or more different types of conversations. Like I can have conversations with people in a couple different ways, and we can be talking about completely different things. And I've caught myself kind of mid-human talking, and I'm like, oh, this is happening, and we're talking about something like telepathically, or we're talking about something through our hearts, or we're having a conversation in our words, but like these other things are going, and just like you said with like ASL, basically, it's like it's like, oh, it's like I love you, or like thank you, like these gestures or these words carry like a frequency, which in turn is a vibration, and the word choices matter, the frequency matters, the vibration, all this stuff matters when it comes to like the reason that we're here, basically, on the other side of the Zoom call.
Yeah. I think I would like to learn to speak English the way that I sign, meaning English is my first language. Like it's more like from the place of authenticity, like the depth of with out loud. It often feels like I'll finish a sentence and be like, I don't even know if that was in like English grammatical structure, Spanish, AS, like I'm not really sure if the structure of that sentence allowed it to make sense to who I'm talking to. But when I'm signing, I don't, still I don't practice very much anymore. So like my grammar is great, but it's still what is the word? Transmit. So you're transmitting. Like when I'm speaking, I feel like I'm really almost displaced from what I'm transmitting. If that makes sense. Because I have to put such focus into words. I don't know if that's true, but that's what came out. With ASL, it's more like when I do the sign, I am consciously transmitting the energy of what I'm saying or communicating.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like especially once you really get kind of tapped in spiritually too, intuitively, and we all are tapped in different ways. There's different levels, I guess, and none's like better than the other. But I think what you do receive, and like you said earlier, you're like, oh, when we were talking about this frequency of the other astral team, right? That was, you're like, that doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as like high frequency, and And I think once you get tapped in as a spiritual person, that's what we're experiencing, is we are able to not only like listen and hear the words, but like energetically you're tapped into exactly like what is happening within the conversation or within the other person, or it's like the words that they're saying aren't quite matching up what I am sensing energetically, you know, and it becomes really interesting when you start having, you know, kind of the different lower dimensional frequencies, what Vincent would call them, or what others would call them, that you run into these things. Sometimes they're thought forms, sometimes there's entities, sometimes there are attachments on people, and you know, the love and light side of spirituality doesn't really like to talk about some of these things, but like really if you are you know, in it as much as we are, there's different levels and layers and dimensions and spaces within those you know, different things.
There are an infinite points of perspective or ways of even approaching looking at all of these different things. So
yeah, and it can be confusing for some people, especially if you don't have like good spiritual discernment, or if you aren't really like sovereign, you know. And I've run into plenty high frequency, my right ear is pinging here, high frequency people who say that they have discernment, who you know, who are like, you know, quote unquote tapped in, and then like you get to know them, you're like, man, like this isn't matching up, like your words aren't matching up with what I'm sensing energetically or what I'm experiencing. And on calls we're kind of like compartmentalized in a way, and a lot of the Zoom calls that we hop on are pretty well like grounded, and they feel very calibrated, they feel very aligned. But I've been on, you know, like calls with JJ and other people too in the community, and they don't feel that way to me. They feel very ungrounded. They don't feel aligned. The frequency is just off. There's like weird stuff happening energetically within the session, you know, and it can be a bit disorienting as like a person who's sensitive.
Yeah, totally. I feel like sometimes I'm not sure, especially if like inner child's having a whole lot of fun. Mm-hmm. When I first start to become aware of it, I'm like, is that me? It's kind of my first assumption is always like, is that me? Mm-hmm. Is that mine? But with I don't know, it's like regardless of whose it technically is, like I get to choose my focus and choose what I want to create in this moment. And so I'm not exactly sure how I navigate, but well, I guess with choice, I navigate with choice. But I just got totally distracted by an image of Flight of the Navigator. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, that's
with his hands.
Yeah, Flight of the Navigator. Are you just like looking up Flight of the Navigator? That's pretty niche.
Loves that movie. What my point? This is not the one that starts with music. I can play some dance music for us a little later, okay?
Yeah, let's see what comes through. And it doesn't have to be a super long meeting today, since it's just me and you, but I feel like there is some stuff that wants to come through. If you're feeling aligned to do some channeling, no pressure, let me know.
It might be. Can we pause for just a second and I can see what my son needs in? All right, so I'm definitely gonna go on mute for a little bit, but I will be able to like listen and focus while I take care of a couple little things.
Okay.
So, well, I'm here though. Super fun chatting with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. Tiana Arkutu Tishishianata Arkutiana Atata Hishokoto Oto Tiana Arkutia Tishishianata Arkatiana Tishishianata Arkata Atiyoko Tishishianata Arkata Atiyata Arkatianata Hatishoko Ata Just going to open sacred space here. I'm just going to open it. Hishianata Arkakotiata Arkokoti Hishianata Arkata Arkata. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Space is open, setting an intention for clarity, align action steps for the next couple months as we're closing out this year. That all frequencies and messages that come through today are for our highest and greatest good, in alignment with the frequency of golden, crystalline, diamond, and above. Deep gratitude for all of our friends, all those who are watching the playback and joining us as well and assisting in whatever way feels most aligned to them. Dragon frequency coming through. Being up in the sun's radiance room, moving to the prismatic toroid portal, stepping through and walking into the tachyon chamber that is centered in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. I guess technically it would be in a black hole, or a couple black holes. It's in the center of the Milky Way galaxy, but that's neither here nor there. Just making my way into the tachyon chamber. Kishishianata arkata atishoko totiana. Shishianata karakati. connecting to the frequency of the unified, or quantum home base rather. The council. Seeing what messages they may have that are stepping forward. Yeah, the tachyon chamber is just essentially a frequency conceptualized, a place that's calibrated, much like the sun's radiance room, but it's a chamber specifically for tachyon energy. And this one that I channeled and I've used before is at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and technically the center of the Milky Way galaxy is a huge, massive black hole. So I guess it's inside of that. I never thought of it that way, but it was looking through today. So just using that kind of like calibrated space. Somebody just slammed the door next to me. To channel from, and I'm just connecting energetically to the quantum home base council. The person that normally steps forward is a feminine frequency. She's like the public affairs person, or the leader, I guess. It feels there is no real leader. They are a council of. I can see them, and I can see the quantum home. But yeah, I can see them. I just have been, using the label of public affairs person, but they're a council. They're all equal in the council, and I can see the different members. At first, all I could see when I first channeled them was her, and then eventually, over the months as they've ticked by, and we've kind of tapped in from time to time, I've started to be able to view the other council members, and they sit behind her or stand behind her in like a half crescent. The human side of me wants to be able to see their bodies, but their frequency, most of them are. Some of them have bodies, but some of them don't. And they're in a crescent, a half crescent shape, like a crescent shape. So they're kind of like in an arc standing behind this person. Just for the purposes of visualizing those, anybody who's tapped in. They're based out of a headquarters, or we call it like the home base, out of the asteroid belt is where they showed us what it looks like. Very etheric, translucent, see-through, radiant headquarters area. Building, it doesn't really describe it. It looks kind of like almost a castle in a way, but it's intuitively that's not what it is. It's it's the quantum home base. And they essentially, when we channeled them like back in July, I think, it was August actually, the 5th of August. They step forward basically to assist humanity, assist those of us who have the ability to channel with them, to see them, to bring forward different messages or themes or co-creations. I think they have any updated mission logs that they would like to share with us, anything that we can exchange with them as well. My light's getting dim. Let's see here. There we go. Updated mission logs to share with them. I really like that. It's a little too bright for me. I'm being drawn intuitively, like maybe because I've been listening to some of the 3i Atlas channelings. I think Lenny had posted one, and then Leslie had posted one in the Limitless Creators Telegram too, and I had fired those up last night while I was driving, because I was driving for a couple hours last night. I'm kind of intuitively drawn to asking about 3i Atlas, but in a way not as much, but that's just the first thing that came up. So just kind of naming things as they're coming up. Oh, okay, huh. Yes, I've seen most of those. Okay. I think what they're trying to show me, because I'm really asking, like, and my intention I'd set for the next couple months, and what I'm being kind of led in a way, almost like because as we're coming to the end of 2025, bookending this year is what I like to call it. The potluck idea, exchanging of templates and keys. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely open to exchange keys and codes with this council in accordance with our intention as well. Like, everybody's hyper-focused on 3i, but really what I'm taking a much more expanded view, and that's kind of what I'm channeling through the Quantum Home-Based Council, is really what I'm asking, what I'm searching for is, even though, yes, bookending the year of 2025, looking forward to 2026, and like kind of energetically pre-gridding, calling in, getting like clear and more focused on like messages specifically for that. I feel like heading into the winter solstice, a lot of people are kind of aligning themselves with 3i Atlas in different ways energetically, and but what I'm asking the council for is essentially like a much more expanded view, an expanded message, what are they showing me? The word that came through is frequency key. And what I was being shown was exchanging the template keys. Yeah, what I was being shown is I don't even know how to describe this, a frequency of light, and you can imagine it as a crystal, okay? Just for the purposes of this conversation. It doesn't look like a crystal to me, but it's a frequency of light. Almost like a pillar, but a gigantic one that would extend down through the dimensions. And this, what they're showing me, what the council is showing me, is potentially a key, but I'm not going to necessarily assign a label to it. I'm just going to describe it coming down from the higher dimensions, and then basically they're showing the movement of it, like dropping down from a higher dimension. I'm asking what dimension, and it keeps going up. It was 16, 18. I started to slow down. I said 26. I'll just put it in between 18 and 26. I know that's a wide range. Just use your imagination. And it's like dropping down, basically. It's like matrix architect. That is, the human words aren't really humaning. It's frequency matrix architecture. So anchoring. So the dropping down. So asking my galactic architect or our galactic architects to step forward as well. I'm gonna put on what I described the other day as like a helmet or glasses, allowing the galactic architect to kind of view what I'm seeing energetically. To take a look at this frequency architecture that is like dropping down from the higher dimensions. Kind of give me a harmonized readout of. See, this is the multidimensional versus the human. The human is like aligned action steps, and my multidimensionality is like, that's not the way this works, bro. Like, this isn't what you're seeing. You're seeing I wish Rachel was here because she would describe this probably as, and I'm purposely not really assigning human words to it. I'm just trying to describe what this council is showing me, like frequency matrix architecture, like anchoring. Because specifically, like I'm channeling 2026 as like an overall theme. I'm really looking at like the first part of 2026, because the second part of 2026 is going to be a pretty fast ride. So I'm just trying to bring through a lattice. Yeah, a lattice. It's much more structured than a lattice. To me, a lattice is like a grid, a template. This is what I'm being shown as a very large quantum pillar of light, but it's not a quantum pillar of light. It's huge. It's humongous. I'm just calling it frequency matrix architecture. It's like the building blocks, essentially, dropping down from the higher dimensions into down through, and like basically, and anything that comes from a higher dimension down into ours. Like people say that the pyramids are built in another dimension, and they were basically called in to here and then drop where they're at right now. A long, long time ago. But what they're showing me is a frequency of architecture or like matrix, an overlay perhaps of I would say like before June. So I'm separating the year into two. June and after is like, to me, going to be a very fast pace. I mean, 2026 is a different vibe completely, is what I'm getting. It's going to be energetically, I heard the word intense, but for most of us, we'll be calibrated and attuned long before that hits. It may feel intense in the now moment because I'm viewing essentially, 6, 7, 8 months into the linear, into the future, but we'll be well calibrated, well attuned. Especially like the way showers, we won't be doing this alone. There'll be plenty of assistance from our star families, from our council, from the Quantum Home Base Council as well, and other councils that are stepping forward. And that kind of makes sense where we started this conversation about the star families that don't have names, that are approaching the field, basically. And some people say that 3I is a type of like metaphysical technology that came here in a way too, to assist in the current like time for what's coming, and that does feel much more true now that I'm saying that versus when we started just directly channeling like, what is this? But basically they're showing me, I guess in a way, the energetic overlay, the template, like whatever word feels most resonant for you, because as we close out 2025 and some people are in, I'm going to kind of open my eyes and just kind of resync. There's like a resync that's happening, the human to the multidimensionality, to the multidimensional, to the higher knowing, the highest self, the upper echelon. The message they're bringing through is essentially like the last little bit that we're closing out, and this isn't like, a lot of people are saying this, is necessary in the now moment, and that's why we're doing that work. That's why a lot of the collective is really feeling that. And we're all the collective, but a lot of us are calibrated as the frequency of way showers. So we've been like calling this in since like June, July, early August. So we've been complete for a while. We are complete, right? So there's nothing wrong, nothing, you aren't behind if you're hearing this message. If you're still tidying up and putting a nice little pretty bow on, closing out what's left for what needs to be called into completion in 2025. You're perfectly aligned, perfectly on time, highly attuned and calibrated to the exact frequency. Yeah, but basically what they're saying, and ooh, I'm feeling it in my body now, I just got a sensation like, so this is like the 0 point. I view this, so like that point right in between the heart, your heart chakra, and the upper solar plexus, I view that as a 0 point, the toroid, right? The toroidal field of your physical body, right? So I just felt that, like, immediately my hands were like, whoa. So what I'm feeling into and the sensations that I'm kind of channeling here is like we are preparing ourselves, we are aligned. That's why we're having the plasmic come in. The plasmoids are coming in to assist as well. The plasma is infusing into all aspects of our body, all the way down below the subatomic, and it's nothing to fear. This frequency that is coming in is helping to attune and calibrate, quantum harmonize, and a lot of people are in the frequency of restoration or recalling, remembering, restoring. But really for me, it's about that harmonization as we're closing out 2025 and we're preparing for 2026, because and this isn't really like Lynn, this is like this is like my high, this is the higher knowing, the highest self, the highest purest essence. Basically the message that's coming through is like, stop resisting, and that, harmonize the verbiage, right? Okay, I understand that maybe we're not consciously resisting, right? Or maybe you're unconsciously, or maybe your subconscious is resisting. They're basically saying, the sooner that we get into the flow and we stop resisting, the quicker we'll come online with our multidimensionality. We'll harmonize all of these aspects of us, and it'll be a much smoother ride energetically, versus like being, it's not the frequency of like dragged, but like something along there with like turbulent waters. Okay, we'll just use that. So if we stop resisting and we get into the flow, right, following your human design, hopping on these Zoom calls with one another, calibrating yourself, harmonizing in every single level, layer, dimension, aspect, all the way down, 2026 is going to be very, very activating for the entire collective. Remembering that we are not alone, remembering that we have the wolf pack, remembering that we have the tribe. And they're just saying like every single person is on track, everything is aligned, nobody is behind, nobody is ahead. I know we talk about the frequency of the way shower itself as like energetically paving the way, and maybe some of us experience some of these things, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ahead of time, but all of that is in divine alignment. All of that is perfectly aligned. Like it's an like if you think of the bell curve, right? It's like a frequency amplitude. There's a wave essentially. And you can team up with your council, your highest self, your higher self, your monad, your oversoul collective, and really call in and energetically pre-grid what is coming for you, what is coming for us as our community, our spiritual community. And that's why the words matter, that's why the frequency matters, that's why your vibration matters, all of these things. That's why we talked about the water codex, quantum restoration, quantum harmonization, the inner children, the galactic children. all of this matters, and all of this, if you're just viewing it as like threads or timelines or frequencies, prismatic threads, all of this forms a very beautiful, like what I'm thinking of is like linen, right? Or like in Egypt they have the parchment and the paper is woven threads, basically, right? Little threads, little fibers. All of this is perfectly aligned and perfectly designed for us, by us, to get us on the shortest distance, the quickest path back to unity consciousness, if that is what you're. So me personally, I am weaving in the frequency, and sorry if you're hearing any sounds, of unity consciousness. And so 2026 is going to be an exciting year. Is there any specific messages before we close this out, or before I drop back into Kiana Ta'aki Hyoko Tianaki Hachu Utiara Akatiyaka Akati Hishiako Kotiyaka. I'm getting so I'm channeling a much more collective frequency, so it's not for any specific person. I'm hearing we've talked about some of these themes before, so there is the divine union frequency, masculine and feminine. The frequency of divine union is going to be very critical and crucial for us. I'm hearing water and fire too as the elements. A lot of us have water in our charts, or we're very watery. They're saying don't forget the fire. We need that very balanced elemental. And to me, it's also water is the womb. Fire is a much more masculine frequency, and not really in the threads of polarity, but there is this this reminder that's coming forward to us of the things that we already know, the capital K know, or that we're already remembering, that we all of these tools are available to us in the now moment. All we have to do is our spiritual practices, get clear, ask for clarity, set an intention, call it in from the 0 point, from the void, call it in together, hop on, and continue to calibrate and attune in whatever way feels most aligned for you. It doesn't necessarily need to be grid play calls. It doesn't necessarily need to be limitless creators. It doesn't have to be JJ's communities. There are all types of tools and modalities that are available to you. I think what Spirit is really trying to bring through here is, yes, Sacred Pause to me feels very aligned for some of the collective, but also really remember and sit in your organic divine blueprint. Call that in and remember that. Weave that frequency. And don't necessarily get attached to all of the labels or all of the, the YouTube videos or people are saying Sacred Pause now. Should I be in Sacred Pause? Don't gaslight yourself. If you're not in that frequency, attune to yourself. Return back within, right? Maybe you have somebody who can mirror for you, have that safe, sacred space to channel in, and really step into your personal mastery, your divinity frequency, your own personal dharma, your capital R remembrance. It doesn't necessarily need to come from me. I am merely just a channel. I'm a catalyst for these things. But remember your truth. And that is the most aligned frequency for you. Speaking your truth with your voice, channeling with your light language, channeling with your songs, your frequency, your octave, your inner child. So it's a reminder, or a friendly reminder to, yes, go within, but also as we're stepping into 2026, you're going to feel this magnetism. You're going to feel magnetized into action. And whatever version of action is most aligned for you, but don't be paralyzed by fear. Don't necessarily be paralyzed by fawning or getting overwhelmed. We are multidimensional. We are very, very interconnected to all of our soul aspects, and we have all of these experiences, memories, frequencies to assist us if that feels most aligned. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending deep gratitude to the Quantum Home-Based Council, any other councils that step forward as well to assist with that channeling session. And I know it's not, I'm in a way, I definitely am channeling, but also like it's a little broad, because like not everything's made to be seen in the now moment. Not everything is like, we ask a direct question and we get a direct answer. A lot of this is the fun little quests or fun little breadcrumbs that we leave for ourselves to remember, and not everything is made to be seen in the now moment. And I know we didn't, I think, originally start out channeling 2026, but I think the frequency that we're calling in together is really that way shower frequency, the aligned action steps, the energetic pre-gridding, as we are closing out, because there's not much left in 2025. We got literally a month and a half, so 45 days. And that's why you'll see some of us chatting in the Telegram about the galactic calendar too, and or like I think Leslie calls it like dream spell. So I spent my 11/11 out at the spiral jetty, and basically the spiral jetty is a counterclockwise spiral. So if you think of Choku-rei, right? Choku-rei can be drawn clockwise, Choku-rei can be drawn counterclockwise. That is the Reiki symbol, like a Sui Reiki symbol called Choku-rei. So I was walking this spiral very consciously, reciting mantras and unraveling linear time for different reasons, and I was working with other mantras as well. But it was a good physical reminder to me on how I wanted to embody the 11/11, not necessarily be anchored in the frequency of linear time. And that's why we really are talking about the galactic calendar, and that's why labyrinths are amazing. That's why the spirals are amazing, and that's why they exist. These are like tools, these are keys, capital K keys. These are little reminders that we've used along the way to deprogram or deconstruct the programming that has been programmed deeply into us, and maybe you're experiencing some resistance just by listening to that, what I just said out loud. Maybe you're like, oh, no way, what do you mean linear time? What do you mean the Gregorian calendar isn't the original divine blueprint? And it's not trying to invalidate your reality whatsoever, but there is a much higher frequency, there is a much more aligned version to tap into and use your own discernment. A lot of us have the ability to view timelines, to view time, to weave time. Yeah, just feel into that, whatever feels most aligned to you. And Christina, I'm interested to hear what came through for you. I know we weren't channeling like for super long, but I don't know if you're able to like type or unmute, and I can read it aloud. And we'll probably end this call early today, just because it's just a couple of us here.
That was so cool. Thank you. I had so much fun on that trip, and I did some drawing. I took a couple notes that I can kind of read, but a lot came through, and I don't know where to start. Let's see. I got a lot of visuals when you were talking about the frequency of light pillar coming down and how you described that. Like I had started drawing something, and I was like, yes, that could that could totally be that. Then I had to kind of pause drawing it because I didn't want to influence what it was becoming. And let me slow down for a second. Yeah, a lot of what you said really resonated, especially when you started talking about 2026. And it was kind of part of me was like, oh yeah, like I kind of forget that 2026 isn't that far away because the rest of 2025 has some huge things. Like I'm flying to Northern Virginia with my family to see my mom before she has open heart surgery. She has this incredibly rare tumor in one of her valves. It is like ridiculously rare. And it's really, I don't have a lot of words for what I see about it. But yeah, so that's a pretty big thing going on. And then right after her surgery is her birthday. And then my birthday is on the solstice. And I realized this morning that this year, my age is the answer to everything. From what is that? Hitchhiker's Guide. So 42 is the answer to everything. So I just had some fun with that, and I don't really do a lot for my birthday, but I get excited. I love the solstice, and I love getting all these, like the sun is setting before 5 o'clock tonight. It feels so crazy, but get to see stars like before I put my son to bed, which is lovely. And I'm gonna hope I get to see a chance to see the aurora again tonight. Yeah, I'm digressing. What wow, I feel like touched on so many topics. I don't know. It all had a really good trajectory though. It felt smooth.
Yeah, was there a color that came through for the quantum pillar or pillar of light or?
Mostly white,
Hmm.
but with like prismatic rainbows. So like not like the curved arch rainbow, but like it kind of had like little spheres in this like tube of light that kind of I should snap a picture of this because that'll be easier than trying to describe any of it. But I have these fun rainbow type pencils that have like multiple colors in one. So I
Hmm.
started playing with that, but they didn't look quite right, and I needed to pause. And I think it's going to take up 2 pages too. Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, it's mostly like white with like the little prismatic rainbows shooting off of it and just refracting within and around it. It was in waves. Like, okay, let me take that picture now. Like,
Nice.
imagine where all the white is. It's like white slash like a blue white slash rainbow. I don't know how to do that in my
Mm.
thing, but that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Do you ever use like Midjourney?
I don't know what Midjourney is.
Oh, it's a type of AI to generate images, and I dropped some pillars of light into the chat here that I've generated over time. But once you learn how to prompt it, you can generate images of a lot of the things. So I'm able to generate images of the things
Those
that
look
I see,
awesome.
like see, I'll put see like in quotes.
Yeah.
And it's super activating to be able to kind of have an image of what I see. This is just like a quantum pillar of light, and I'll pull it up in the. But yeah, if you drop yours in there, then I can put it on the replay, and we can kind of take a look at it's really activating to be able to see a picture of something that is just like a channeling, essentially. You know what I mean? Like we can describe it, but like describing it is one thing versus like actually being able to show something to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yes. And sometimes I have a limited number of like pencils, crayons, markers.
Yeah.
And so and if I can't find them or don't want to like get up and lose my train. Okay, there we go. I had it like flipped a weird direction.
Flip the other direction.
Yeah, I was like, don't do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to copy it and it keeps. All right, fine. We'll do it that way because that's what it keeps doing.
I mean, I could flip it. You just gotta tell me which way it needs to be.
I already flipped it, but I think what I was having a hard time was getting the whole image to copy. It kept copying the image on the black background. So I'm not sure what this is going to look like, but I'm curious.
Oh.
Like it started as just the beam, and then as you kept talking, I
like
saw more
spiral.
things coming down along it and kind of radiating off of it.
Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at this. I'm gonna screen share so that people watching the playback can watch along with us.
And I was trying to decide like where the atmospheric line was. Because part of me wanted to do a version of it like coming down onto our planet. But then my head went in like 5 different directions, like different perspectives.
Let's see if we can. I hope this is coming up on the replay. Okay. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, I like that. I like that you get the spiral. So the frequency to me has movement to it. It's not just like a 2D, or you see what I'm saying? It's not like just a 2D image. So I like that you were able to basically show. And can you see the screen share? Does it look okay on your side?
It looks like the file. So it's really.
It looks like what?
It looks like the file window.
Oh, let me stop the share and let me reshare again. So I'm going to share. What about this? Can you see it now?
Check.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit.
I'm glad that you picked up 3D because I was like, I'm not really sure if this is looking 3D. But sometimes I have to like pause and think that part through a little bit.
Yeah, so you should be able to see, everybody should be able to view this right now. So I like that you were able to draw kind of like a spiraling aspect of it, because a lot of the times, and you got a bunch of different like colors in here. So there's like white, green, pink, yellows.
Yeah, I have this one. I pencil that has like all these colors. So it just kind of depends on what side of the point of the pencil is touching down. Very fun.
Yeah, but that's a good representation of what I was kind of channeling coming down through the dimensions. It's not really a crystal. It's kind of a quantum pillar of light, but it's not in a way. It's very wispy. It's got different points on it in a way, kind of like what you drew. There's like frequency movement through it. So I think this is confirmation for us being calibrated and attuned to one another, and that we're able to basically co-weave, co-channel, and then you can show us a representation of what that looks like.
I think that from different angles, it did look a little bit like a crystal wand, actually. Like, especially before I added all the larger swirls, it was kind of like, well, if my perspective of what I'm looking at was a little different, like on the page, I feel like it would have looked like a solid crystal.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like a crystal. I was trying to describe what you drew, but this is what it looks like to me. It's got a lot of movement. There's a lot of like wisps. There's a lot of like portions of it that look like a crystal. There's facets to it. There's the movement of the frequency itself. This actually looks a little bit more dragon to me, like at this angle.
Totally feeling the dragons.
This looks like a bit of a dragon. But what, and even this one's see how it just hits a little bit different in a way when you flip it around.
Like sometimes it looks like there were spheres in the center.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looked like it was just light spiraling down.
Mm-hmm. So. This to me is kind of like I was seeing this, but like more vertically, in a way.
Mm-hmm. That's the direction I drew it in.
Yeah. And I think I'll just tab to show the others. Kind of like when I say quantum pillar of light, this is kind of what I'm seeing, a representation, and that's why I like Midjourney. This is an older version of Midjourney that I generated these pictures in.
I love that.
But you can imagine like a column that has like opalescent, light blue, opalescent pink, radiant white, and then like going up through the different dimensions, and sometimes it's really large. Sometimes at the top there's like a universe, or there's like galaxies at the top for me.
Yeah. So on this last one, you kind of have that. No, not that one. You have like almost like a aura, a white glow around the inner beam. And I had that initially because I was using charcoal, and I smeared the aura so that it kind of looked like that. Like it was widening it towards the top though.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can do.
So yeah, so if that was upside down, right.
We can do this. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I will see like spiraling galaxies or the fingers of a galaxy shooting out, and then a lot of times when I call in my own personal quantum pillar of light, my physical body is at the bottom of this. So I'm calling it down from God, Source, Creator, through my highest self, through my oversoul, and dropping it down through all of my entire chakra systems, and I'm anchored at the bottom of that.
That's kind of how I envisioned this, but then I kept drawing it. It just kept getting bigger, and there was no person. So,
yeah.
But I can get very distracted if I start drawing people too early.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
that's cool. Yeah, I want to check out that AI. Like I've played with AI a little bit, but sometimes I don't want to look at a screen.
Yeah.
And I think like lately with it's like I have plenty of pause moments, but most of those, it's like I can still engage with things as long as like I'm not staring at a screen the whole time.
Right. Well, there is it's easier to prompt now than it was before Midjourney, and Sharon started using Midjourney too, and I know she's really into drawing codes, and it's kind of, you get the best of both worlds because you're able to articulate things and get images in ways you may not, that would take you like hours and hours, whereas you can just like prompt and like it'll generate it. Now it is a subscription base, but the images are different. Like ChatGPT, the images are very poor quality compared to what you're getting out of Midjourney. So that's why I
Grok a little bit.
Yeah, whatever.
But sometimes they give me what I want and sometimes they don't. But what's really fun is when I upload something that I've drawn, and I just let Grok play with it, and then maybe I'll say go more fun, or I'll add a term. Like if you, while looking at this picture and like what we just channeled, like 2 or 3 words, what would you? Quantum pillar of light? Or sometimes I don't go for the literal. I'll go for like what it relates to or corresponds to.
Well, so like for Midjourney, I don't know how the one that you're talking about, Gronk, but like you can upload your picture and it'll give you the actual prompt to type in. So you upload your picture, it'll say this is the prompt. Then you can copy that prompt and then run that prompt, and it'll generate.
That's cool.
Yeah, so a lot of times you don't even have to do the work.
I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I'm just playing.
Well, yeah, you don't have to like big brain the prompts or anything like that. You can just, use words to describe it and then mess with it. But yeah, I think we're just going to wrap up early today.
Okay.
I mean, we've gone 90 minutes. I think that's
yeah.
We've done our fair share for today.
It feels like the cycle is. We're good.
Yeah, I agree too. I think it was a good channeling session, and if you're watching this and you made it to the end, thank you.
Sorry about that.
If there's something that share. Oops, computer. Yeah, definitely let us know if there is something that you got, something that was pinging you off of what we were chatting about, what we were channeling.
Actually, Rachel, if you watch this, I love the words you use. They very much resonate when there's lots of visuals in a channeling. She comes in and she talks. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah. Rachel's. We're thinking about all of our friends that whenever they are able to join us, whenever it feels most aligned. I know Rachel will be returning from Egypt before too long, so looking forward to definitely chatting with her, but also anybody else that's watching this playback. Would love to have you hop on with us and co-channel and co-weave, or even if it's just in the Telegram, or maybe you're just like listening to your otter, and that's the most aligned way for right now. All those are perfectly aligned options. We are super grateful for every single person that is co-weaving, co-channeling with us. Just shifting to integrate and close out this call. My energy is mine, your energy is yours. Any energy that is not ours that came forward, sending that back into the quantum field, the 0 point to be alchemized and transmuted back to source, creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. Asking our record keepers to step forward now and update our records. The Akashic record keepers to come forward to update the Akash. Updating the mission logs. Super grateful for the Quantum Home Base Council and all the other councils that step forward to weave with us. Our guides, our helpers, our higher selves, highest, purest essence, oversoul collecteds. The galactic children are always weaving with us. Our inner children too. Anything else, Christina?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Well, not sorry, but seeing so many cool things just now. It was like one of those quantum pillars of light, but with not perfectly straight, a little curved, but it was coming like straight into my heart chakra and then up to my throat for a while. And it reminded me, like towards the beginning of the channeling, that I felt a lot of things happening with the throat chakra. And I was like, all right, I'm ready for that. And then it kind of moved up
in the field.
Yeah, I moved up to my third eye a little bit, and then I just kind of kept like scanning my space, and I was like, what does this look like? This looks like kind of like neurons, but more like when they describe space time being woven wormholes. That's kind of, So that's where I was when you asked me that.
Space-time woven wormholes. Okay.
There's a nice little short on it. Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk, where he's explaining it a little bit, and It was
if
fun.
you find it, drop it into
Totally. Let me make a note
the
of that.
Galactic. Yeah, drop it into the Galactic Grid play. Yeah, we'll continue to weave on the Telegram, and again, if you're watching this on playback and this is something that you are definitely interested in, or if you have questions or comments or anything that came through for you and you want to, feel free to leave a comment, feel free to connect with us in the Telegram. Yeah, and we will see you, I guess, next week for Grid Play, but Limitless Creators Call will be on Monday night first. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Super, super grateful for you. And have an amazing day. Thank you, Christina. Nice chatting with you as always.
You too.
And we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, ciao. Have a great day.
Bye, you too.